I'm gonna let you finish, but they
BTS
had one of the best
tour
of all time.
BTS World Tour schedule has been announced. Will they surpass Taylor Swift's The Era Tour? The next BTS World Tour has a name. It is called the Arirang World Tour. It starts in April at Goyang, Korea. And then it goes on until it ends in March at Manila. Let's compare that with their last World Tour. Their last World Tour was the Love Yourself Tour, which started in August 25th, 2018 and ended in April 7th, 2019 with a total of 42 concerts. And how many concerts would the Arirang World Tour have? A whopping 79 concerts. Basically, they're not taking any breaks within this tour. And also in the Love Yourself tour, they had an extended tour that added 20 additional shows. So there is even a chance that they would do an extended tour for this upcoming tour as well. That would be an absolutely crazy schedule with an astronomical number of shows. For example, if they added 20 additional shows to the Arirang tour like the Love Yourself tour, that would mean it's going to be about 100 shows for one tour. Also, remember that the Love Yourself tour was in 2018. That was freaking before COVID. This is their first big tour after COVID and after military service. So people have waited for so long. So you know this tour's anticipation is huge. But we have the million-dollar question. Would the BTS Arirang tour break Taylor Swift's record? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Taylor Swift's The Era tour was even crazier. The tour was 149 shows for a little less than 2 years. So, Taylor Swift's record is still here to stay. However, I would mention that it's a little easier for Taylor Swift because most of her concerts were in the US, and she also lives in the US. After all, there was that whole controversy with her private jet. If you don't know the controversy, there is this programmer named Jack Sweeney. Ever since he was a teenager, he had developed Twitter bots that tracked locations of private jets of celebrities. This included Taylor Swift. And he made an Instagram account called Taylor Swift Jets that was specifically dedicated to following Taylor Swift. The account went viral for sharing this massive carbon footprint that was used by Taylor Swift's private jets. And it was particularly criticized because she was shown to be traveling back and forth with a private jet to her home in Nashville mid-tour, even if it was just one day of going back home. And so yeah, that would be a massive difference between Taylor Swift and BTS. And so considering this difference, even if BTS wouldn't break Taylor Swift's record, I do think this world tour schedule is actually the most demanding schedule there ever has been to anyone. Since comparing with Taylor Swift feels like cheating because she lives in the US, let's have a more proper comparison with the current kings of K-pop boy bands. Stray Kids. Stray Kids' biggest and most recent world tour was the Dominate World Tour that lasted from 2024 August 24th to 2025 July 30th. This was almost a year-long world tour, just like the upcoming Arirang World Tour. But compared to BTS's 79 planned shows, the Dominate Tour was only 55. So this really puts into perspective of how crazy BTS's schedule is. We know they're not only doing these shows, they'll do advertisements, they might appear on TV, they might also be working on their next album because this tour will go on for so long. So I really pray that BTS will stay healthy. But, of course, with all this hustling comes the money. Let's analyze how much they would earn based on their past history. If we look at the Love Yourself tour, they have earned about $72 million. But wait, there was also the extension where they earned an additional $115 million. Almost $200 million in total. But wait, how did they earn more in their extension than their main tour? Remember that the main tour was 42 shows and the extension was 20 more. They earned more in half the shows. This is why the concert venue matters. For example, in the extended tour, they performed at the Rose Bowl Stadium and the Wembley Stadium, both of which seat around 90,000 people. But in the upcoming Arirang tour, none of the scheduled stadiums are that size. No Seoul Olympic Stadium, no Rose Bowl, and no Wembley. So I think we have a strong chance they would do an extended tour for this Arirang tour as well. I think it just takes more time to book those venues. So I predict 100 shows for this tour is actually possible. Okay then, let's do the math. Ticket price for BTS's Love Yourself tour in Korea costed 100,000 won. For the Arirang tour, it is double that, and it is now 200,000 won. So I think we can assume that all the ticket price of the Arirang tour will be double that of the Love Yourself tour. To do the math, let us first assume they will do 100 shows in this tour. This means that compared to the Love Yourself tour, they are doing 60% more shows, which would have been about $300 million. But because the ticket prices are doubled, we can estimate they will earn $600 million. Can I just have $1 million? Thanks. Or do you think they'll actually break the $1 billion mark? Let me know why you think that in the comments. And I'll see you next time with more BTS comeback. Let's go!